Hello, gorgeous soul, and welcome to this epic podcast. This is a place where you are encouraged and you have absolute freaking permission to unapologetically go after all of your dreams, all of your visions, all of your things on your vision board, like everything that your heart desires. I'm your host, Angharad, the High Vibe Babe, and I believe that we're all in this life to expand and experience our wildest dreams. If one of us can have it, then we all can. So that is the aim of this podcast. Each week I'll either be going solo or have guests with the aim to inspire, uplift you and give you the tools for you to live your most epic AF life and business possible. You can find me on Instagram with the handle @HighVibeBabe. Now let's get into today's episode. Hey babes, Angharad here, High Vibe Babe. I'm really excited because today I am finally getting around to doing a generator mini human design reading, because it has come to my awareness that I have done one not for generators, which is quite crazy since you guys are the majority of the population. So welcome to this podcast. I'm so glad you are here listening to this and wanting to dive deeper a little bit into your design and how you integrate into your life. So today I'm doing a live reading. Welcome. And she is a Sacral Authority Generator. So basically what I'm going to be doing is just giving her a quick crash course in her human design and how she can integrate into her life and some conditioning. And you're welcome if you have questions along the way to ask any questions and stuff. And yeah, I'm so excited.
Me too. Yay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Oh my gosh, we born at 11:11. Oh my God. Holy shit.
I freaked out as well because it wasn't until recently where I asked my mum and she was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 11:11. I was like, no, it wasn't.
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. Obviously just saw that from the chart. That's the tits. Oh my God, favorite number of it. Okay, cool. So you are a Sacral Authority Generator, which means that, so generators are made up of, they're about 70% of the planets. That's generator and many gens. So you guys are the large majority of the planet, which means that you guys, basically the world right now is kind of revolved around you guys. It's really formulated for you guys. It's formulated for your sacral. And what it means to be a generator is you have your sacral defined, which is the second chakra up, the red square. So that means that you have it defined, which means that this is where your energy actually comes from. So it's like, how I always describe it is, you're a power plant, and power plants don't have energy. They create energy through movement, through doing stuff that you really lights you up. So you'll find it being a generator that some things you do will really light you up, and you could feel like you could go for 8 hours doing the one specific thing because it's just like so amping for you. Just keep on going and going and going. It's very consistent energy. The thing that I find with a lot of generators, coaching a lot of generators, is that when it comes to especially integrating into our businesses, right, is that because you're here, so as a generator, you're here to master things. And on that journey, things are going to, as you can imagine, like throughout your life, you're going to master something and then move on, right? So it's not always going to be the same thing. So as you've mastered it, and as your sacral wants to move on, some things are going to turn from like fuck yeses, what used to be fuck yeses, to like, oh, I don't really want to do it. Or they become like shoulds or people pleasing. And this is what you guys often end up expressing, is like the people pleasing or the shoulds, because you haven't let go of the things that your sacral used to love. And now it doesn't. And it's our mindset, right? It's our mind that really is keeping us from actually stepping into the future versions of ourselves, where our sacral is really calling us to. Because although you guys have a lot of energy, you're not designed to be doing shit for people or for yourselves even that you don't actually enjoy. You're here to actually enjoy your fucking life. So big thing for generators is actually letting go of anything that feels like a should is a no. It's a sacral no.
That's so interesting, because like throughout our lives we're conditioned to, you must stick to one thing or else you seem flaky, and that's always something that I've been very wary about, is trying to stick to one thing and be good at that one thing. I've always been told that because I want to do so many things at one time, and other people just can't comprehend that. And so it's always kept me in a very, very restricted / safe place with that. It's so interesting.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And it's a very, very common thing, I think, for all of us, but specifically for you generators, right? I remember even that growing up, like, oh, you have to stay in your job for like 2 years, before you change it, right? Like there's pressure to like look very externally consistent, which is once again actually a really masculine energy, not a feminine energy, which is, you know, not also going to serve us when we have cycles. We're actually cyclical beings, but that's besides the point for this for this right now. However, that's definitely something to take into consideration as well. So yeah, so basically your sacral, it really is guiding you. The thing, like I literally did a live yesterday on Instagram, which is called what did I name it? I called it the generator desire disease, which is basically where, and you responded to this on my story as well, I think, didn't you? So I was shown by a collective of guides that basically there's this 4-year-old who has been told that, you know, she desires too much, that she needs to be realistic, that she has too much energy, she's too creative, she wants to change so much, not change in a way like not quite as intense as manifesting generators, but like that you're just trying to go for too much. You need to be more realistic, right? And this is a lot of our conditioning being raised by parents or grandparents, or our parents were raised by, you know, people who are, you know, involved, who grew up in the wartime, right? Or depression time, or there's a whole lot of conditioning around like just being happy with how you are and not going for more, right? And basically the download was about, you know, that you guys can really struggle to tap in. So I've worked with a lot of clients who can't even feel their sacral yeses or nos, because that's how your authority works, is your gut literally says yes or no. It's like the, you know, the gut feeling we all hear online all the time, you know, we're growing up, what's your gut feeling? That's literally you guys. You do get a or from your sacral. And also, funnily enough, generators also, it's very common for them to actually say yep or nah or or all the time. And it's really funny because it really pisses me off. Because for so many reasons, because firstly, I'm just like, I want a spiel, not just a yes or a no. I want to be informed as a manifestor, because I grew up with generators and my household is full of generators. My kids and my husband are all generators. So, and not only that, but like, you know, when you say yup or nah, it sounds quite similar in comparison to like yes or no. It's just, anyway, one of the things that I've had to learn to live with and accept.
Sorry, it's funny that you brought that up, because when I was younger, I used to get told off for saying or yeah, nah. I'm like, you know, it's rude. You have to actually say yes or no. And so it's only just recently that when I was told that I was a generator and that's how I should respond, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
It does, because your what's I think of your strategy is literally to respond. So you know how, I'm not sure, did you grow up Christian at all, or do you have any Christian conditioning?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So literally, and me too, right? So, you know, Catholic schools and all the things. So what we're taught in Christian religion, right, is to wait for a confirmation from God. And it's really interesting because, once again, the conditioning in the world, right, it's working for you guys, and this is pretty much kind of how it's going to work. So it's a confirmation. So when it comes to making a decision, your sacral is going to say or and then you have to lean back, which can be more difficult for generators who like are going, want to go to the thing right now. Sacral's like, fuck yes. And lean back and wait for a response. So it's any sort of confirmation, any of your senses. So you might like see a sign, you might have a girlfriend talk to you about something, you might hear something, you know, something in a song where it's like, you know, chase your dream, something, you're like, oh my God, that's my sign, you know, or like, and you can actually have symbols as well. Like, you know, some people have like angel numbers, for instance, or like some people just have symbols like, oh, when I see a feather, that's like my sign to go ahead with what I've been thinking about, you know. So that's exactly what you guys are meant to be doing. So the great thing is you guys do have a lot of that sort of conditioning from our parents and just the world in general about the yeses and the nos and waiting for confirmation, or rather the gut feeling, right? And waiting for a confirmation is like literally so in alignment for you guys. It's a really beautiful expression for you guys. And, you know, even things like my in-laws always say like, sleep on it. Which is great for a generator, not great for a manifestor. The complete opposite for a sphenic manifestor like me. That is the opposite of what I should do. Should not wait for a confirmation from God. I'm just like literally here to do the opposite. So it's really interesting to decondition. But those things that you guys have been conditioned for is very, very high, very good expression for you guys. It's exactly how you're meant to live in alignment. So that's really beautiful. So yeah, basically your decision-making process is going to be like your sacral's going to say or and then you lean back and wait for a response, some sort of confirmation, and then you go and act. And Yeah, and that's a really beautiful thing, and that's basically how you guys can continue to master. That's you know, to be master of your craft. It's going to be how you continue to like stay always in that like fuck yes fire lit up sacral energy like all of the time throughout your life and the things that you're doing, and letting go of the things that feel like a should or a people pleasing thing or something like that just does. I call them like energy leaks, right? Something that's just not lighting you up as much, and just allowing yourself to view the things that are shoulds or the things that you used to do in the past, things that used to work in the past, right? Through a lens of mindset that you're just letting go of the things that are no longer going to serve you to the highest good, that you're stepping into your desires, because you guys, like, I literally believe, there's literally a quote in the Bible that says that your desires are God-given, right? The desires of your heart are God-given. So everything you're stepping into, everything your sacral is calling you to, is your soul communicating how to get your desires. And I read a quote online recently that said your desires are your compass to your purpose or something like that. And I'm like, yeah,
I feel that.
I totally resonate. So it's really powerful. So your aura is like a big warm hug, especially when you're in alignment. However, we have all met generators when we walked into a room, and it's like, I call them fuck off vibes from a generator.
I'm laughing because I'm like, oh my gosh, like resting bitch face, that was me. Absolutely. People used to get very intimidated when they needed to approach me for something.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and you can just tell. So your not self theme as a generator is frustration. So that means that when you're feeling frustration, that you have not been listening to your sacral, right? Which is your authority, which is your intuition. So what happens is when you're sitting in that place of frustration, your aura just sends out these big fuck off vibes. Everyone is just like, and I know this from living with them, being raised by them, by a lot of people, and like pretty much everyone I know is generators. I don't have any manifestors in my life in real life. I know a few projectors, but they're all generators on managing. So I know this vibe very significantly. And so basically the way I describe the not self theme for everyone is when you're feeling your not self theme. So for you guys, it's frustration. Basically, it's about pulling back the layers. So for instance, I had my not self theme this morning, right? I got up this morning and my dog, obviously, it's a puppy, okay? It had shat in the bed, which that's okay. It's okay. I was a little bit angry, my not self theme. Okay, I was a little bit angry. And then I was like, okay, it's okay. Take a breath, take him outside. We dealt with that, gave him the bath, and then brought him inside and he shat in the house. And I was like, oh my God. And I got so angry, like so angry. Not at the dog, at myself. And what I realized was that, and this is a perfect example, like the way we can view things is an external thing, right? So I was tired. Because I'd been up with him all night, he had a sore tummy. So that's the reason why he was up and he was having accidents. But, you know, I was up all night. I went to bed late as well. So I hadn't served myself. I was tired and I didn't want to deal with poo through everything in the morning, right? So it presents as an external problem, right? As an external thing. But what we have to do is we need to pull back the layers. So what we have to do, like what I ask myself in those instances, okay, I say, okay, if I wasn't feeling my not self theme right now, if that didn't exist, what's underneath it? What else am I frustrated or angry about, right? And if that didn't exist, what else is there? So then you go all the way down back to, it's always a decision that we didn't listen to our authority. It's always some way we didn't serve ourselves. It's always some way that we weren't listening to our guidance or our guides, or we didn't make that decision that we really wanted to, but we tried to people please someone else, right? So that's the way that I really decode the frustration, because it can, like when we have the fuck off vibes, right? It can just seem like an external thing. It can seem like, oh, our relationship isn't great, or our boss is being a dick, or, you know, I don't know, some random problem happened, or we crashed our car or something, right? It can present as an external thing. So it's always about pulling back the layers and seeing what else. So this is like the way that our soul is communicating with us to check back in with ourselves, essentially.
Wow. When you put it that way, it changes the whole. So my not self theme, if I'm correct, is frustration.
Yes.
And sis has been moving through so much frustration in the past few weeks, and if you pull it back to be able to look at it with the layers, it's actually like I'm looking back through the last 3 weeks, and I'm just like, holy shit. All of that was because I wasn't getting enough rest. Everything that happened was based off me not serving myself and getting enough rest.
Wow.
Mm.
And it's something like as simple as that, right? But we have to decode it. We have to decode it. And it's then what happens is we can take it out on the people that love us the most, right? We can take it on our bosses. We can take it out on our kids or our partners or just ourselves as well, right? Instead of actually just looking at the problem. And so the thing I really love about human design is like, it's a very tangible way for us to decode what our soul, what our intuition is calling us to. There's very real physical human things that our mind and our human can attach to actually translate the 5D basically into 3D reality.
Far out, mind blown. Honestly, like, because when you think about it and you're in the midst of it, you know, you're in the midst of the frustration, the kids are pissing you off, this has gone wrong, my car window broke, it won't go up, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, hold up, go and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's it, just go and sleep. I slept yesterday, I'm back. After 3 weeks of being just in this whole big shit show, I'm back.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And it's not to say that these things around us are not going to frustrate us as well. But the thing is, like, it's like, you know how, like, basically everything we see in this world is a perception, right? And you know, people always say glass half full or half empty, right? Basically everything that we receive, everything we experience is all based on our perception. So when we are feeling the deep internal frustration of not listening to your sacral about resting, for instance, everything is seen through the perception of I'm frustrated, I'm not listening to myself, my life is shit. And then you add in like some enchantress vibes or something depending on where you're at in your cycle, and you're just like, fuck the actual world.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. The fiery enchantress who's like spitting fire. Then everything seems to be a really big deal, but it's about picking it apart, and then we can find a really deep answer and really clear guidance around something that, you know, and then we remove, right, in your instance, get some rest. And then if the window was to break tomorrow, if we're zen and tapped in with ourselves and serving ourselves and doing the meditation and getting enough rest, it's like, oh yeah, right, I'm going to feel that emotion, but it's nowhere near as much, and it's nowhere near as like my whole world is fucked now, basically.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like today, even after I had that sleep yesterday, I was like, I can fix it, you know? Mm-hmm. I can just go and get it fixed. It's not the end of the world. I'm not going to die. Mm-hmm. Whereas when it broke, I was just like, oh, okay, what else? Come on, bring it on. Like, fuck me over, I'm already there anyway.
Yeah, 100%. The thing I want to say about your aura is the reason why, and this is the thing that I think generators really need to hear, because they can very much struggle to lean back and wait for a response, right? Because it goes against, you know, masculine conditioning. Also, being a generator is more of a masculine energy, because just you literally have that life force energy, the drive to go and do it right from the sacral. The thing that generators really need to hear about when they're resisting waiting for a response and leaning back and waiting for a response, the thing you guys need to hear and understand is that how your aura works, it's a big, massive, warm hug, okay? So it's very welcoming when it's not on fuck off vibes, when it's not feeling its frustration. It's very beautiful and warm and big. And your aura is actually a magnet for everything you desire. So that's the reason why your strategy is to respond, is because your aura is literally magnetizing all of these ways for you to respond. And one of the things that I haven't ever heard a generator say it, but I hear them say it in their mind, is that, oh, what if I miss the sign, right? Have you ever worried about that before?
That's why I act so fast, you know, because I'm like, oh, I probably won't be paying enough attention for it to come. So I must do the thing now so that I don't miss it, you know?
Yeah, I totally get you. And so 100% have heard this from people's minds. And the thing is that because and you also apply this like actual mindset stuff, right? Like, you know, the RAS, how it's looking for evidence about everything we believe, right? So if we're believing for a start that we're going to have something to respond to, firstly, we're going to see them because we're actually looking for them. But secondly, your aura is going to bring you so many fucking things to respond to. It's not even just one. Like, I remember my husband, so he's a generator, right? And when he asked for confirmation confirmation from God and leans back and waits for a confirmation, he'll get like 10 confirmations, like not even one. He'll get 10 within like a day, you know, like, and that's just the ones he noticed. Like you guys are, it's literally bringing everything you desire. And it's funny that, you know, your conditioning is so opposite to actually what it is. So you guys really do get to have your desires. Your aura is literally, that's what we taught in human design. Your aura is magnetizing everything you desire to you. That's the reason why you have to wait for a response.
Oh gosh, yes. I had something the other day in regards to not just one sign. I had like 4 different people telling me the same thing. I was like, shit, that hasn't happened in a while, but I'd rested, hadn't I? And I'd opened myself to be able to listen again and just be more aware of what was going on around me. Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, I love it too so much. That's amazing. I just want to think about, is there anything else that generators need to hear today? What else do generators need to hear? That you also aren't other people's bitch. because you guys have that workforce, and I sort of touched on this a little bit before, because you guys are the doers, you know that saying like ask a busy person to get something done?
I've never heard of that before.
Okay, I've heard that so many times. You ask a busy person to get something done. And the reason why is because they're already doing it, right? So add one more thing onto their list, they're going to get done, versus like asking someone who's not busy to get something done. It'll be like the end of the world and they probably just won't get it done, you know? So that you guys can often just end up being those people where people just pile shit on top of you because you're yes people. You're like, you know, like the Yes Man movie. You can just become the yes man movie, and then you become people pleasing, and then it becomes part of your identity and part of your value and your worth of like doing things to other people and saying yes and being the person who's reliable and always there. So basically what I want to release you from generators today is that you doing you, boo, is the best for everyone on this planet. It's best for your relationship. It's best for you. It's best for your children to see that. It's best for your partners. It's best for your work. It's best for the whole ripple effect that you're going to have on the world, because what happens is when you stop saying yes to everything everyone else wants you to do, you have the space and the energy to actually do what your sacral wants you to do, to be creative, to create your desires, to start the business, to, you know, go on the walk, to, I don't know, to have these conversations with people, to do the things, to start doing a random hobby that's not going to make you any money just because you want to fucking do it, you know, like you actually have the energy and you'll have so much more fulfillment and in your life by you actually just saying no to things that you don't want to do anymore. It's 100% your permission, and I really encourage you to do it.
It's so relevant. Like even when I look at my past jobs, my job roles and stuff, it's always been like reception, administration, PA, and what do? They do things for everybody else all the time, and they're constantly busy. You know, management in a retail store, what is that? It's just constant doing and responsibility. Oh my gosh. But I'm so here for this entrepreneur life. That shit, I'm gonna do me.
Yes, queen. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you have any final questions or anything before we sign out?
I just wanted to say one of the amazing things that I picked up from your live yesterday when you were talking about that 4-year-old was the need for us generators to feel safe before we move forward. There is, for me, especially like in regards to finances and things like that, because we don't see where, you know, if we're not in control or we can't see where the next lot's coming from, we don't feel safe to move forward. Yeah, and then when you were talking on the 4-year-old and telling her that it is safe, it just really hit home for me that, like, damn, we are friggin' safe. We can have it. We can be like all the other beautiful HD profiles that are calling everything in, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. And definitely, like, I mean, everyone listening right now and you right now, you're literally in my energy as a manifestor, right? So I'm activating your potential, activating your desires, activating your sacral, activating all of the goodness in you, right? So it's really amazing to be around the people and to, like, you know, whether it's listening to this podcast, right? Listening to other podcasts, to be looking for the evidence that you do get what you desire, right? Because the reality is, if there is an exception, there is no fucking rule.
Oh, yes.
So it means that if someone else has made it, if someone else has a crystal business, someone else, decided to go and live in the Bahamas, if someone else works 2 hours a week, whatever, regardless of the energy type, it means there is no fucking rule. That you get to have it as well. And that, reparenting is so powerful. If you guys specifically want to hear that live, we spoke a bit about reparenting and stuff. I'll have it linked in the show notes as well if you want to go and listen to that IGTV. But yeah, it's really, to reparent and to clarify and to reinstate those desires and that child dumb blind like faith that you get to fucking have fun is so yummy and powerful and delicious for you guys.
Yes it is. Oh yes.
Oh yay. Okay, I just want to thank you so much for coming on. I really want to honor you and the journey you've been on, and you're an amazing friend and client, and I think you're just the tits, and I can't wait to see your entrepreneurial journey just continue to grow and get more and more filled with your desires.
Oh my gosh, I've got full body goosebumps. Thank you so much. I honor you. I appreciate you. I love you so much, and I am honored to be here.
Oh, thank you. I love you too, babe. Okay, have a great day.
You too. Bye.
If you have enjoyed this episode, I would adore if you would screenshot it, chuck it up on your stories with your favorite takeaway moment, and tag me at Hi Vibe Babe on Instagram so that more people can see this and get this content and get this message out there to really shape and change and impact other people's lives. Do you desire to be around more high vibe women who really get you, who encourage you, who support you no matter what? Yeah, well, guess what? I have a place that you belong. It is called High Vibe Babes Community. It is a free Facebook group, and I would love to have you in there. There are so many free trainings and epicness in this group, so please get your booty in there. It would mean the world if you would subscribe to this podcast, do the reviews, the rating, the stars, all of the things. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot wait to chat with you on the next episode. I'm sending you all of the vibes and all of the love. Over and out from Angharad, the High Vibe Babe.